corpsing or breaking on live TV. We all love it. It shows a more human side to performers, especially in wrestling, because if you've got a big bad grumpy heel who cracks a smile, I don't know, man, there's something nice about it all. Makes you feel warm and fuzzy in your dum-dum. Therefore, because it is entertaining, let's inject some positivity back into the world, because I am Simon Miller, the bald idiot. And yeah, here's 9 of the best moments from the world of sports entertainment when people broke right in front of your face. Number 9, dead man laughing. I actually spoke about this on my best goofy moments ever video because that's how good it is. Still have no idea what Steve Austin was thinking, but man, it is good stuff. It was at the height of the WCW versus WWE invasion angle with both teams about to go to war, and as such, Vince McMahon was cutting his big rah-rah speech. We can't lose, we gotta win. The future of wrestling depends on it. Of course, this had come after Stone Cold's heel turn, and look, while it wasn't good for business, it was great for Steve as a character. He lent into this paranoid, bizarre rattlesnake gimmick so strong the dude was hilarious. May have been a home run in that regard. Different video for a different day. Evidence of this came on this evening because despite the stakes, Austin decided he wanted to make The Undertaker break character, so repeated every single word that Vince said. It's genuinely funny too because Steve's cadence and delivery are so over the top, and yep, after a while you can see Mark Calloway holding on for dear life. Keeps covering his face, and he was notoriously focused on not giving away too much on camera. It's just so much damn fun though, and a reminder what wrestling should be, a nice little distraction. You can take all that other nonsense in your real life and throw it out the window. We're just here to have a good time. The extra good part is in the corner you can see Chris Jericho and Kane slowly going too, although not Kurt Angle. That man has it down, doesn't even blink, was likely thinking of ways he could probably join in. Number 8, Punkamania. So let's do a recent one because you likely saw it. It was the 20th of January 2025 Monday Night Raw, and as Hulk Hogan had been booed on the Netflix debut, I suppose CM Punk thought he was fair game. Punk also wanted to make it clear he was going to win the Royal Rumble, so during a mid-advert promo with Jackie Redmond, he said that even if Hulk Hogan enters the match, he will throw his dusty ass over the top rope. Also going to kill Hulkamania once and for all. Now Jackie is very good in her role, but this floored her. Couldn't hide her very real reaction and basically laugh right there on camera. I mean, it may have been shock. Punk then got back on track, but you can go and see this for yourself today, as you may have been focused on CM. As soon as you see Jackie, well, she erupts like a volcano. I would imagine she thought given what happened with Hogan, we'd all try and move on from this and not mention it. Not quite. He got banned from Collision. Sorry. The Raw Rumble. Number 7, Booker T and the NWO. Booker T does not get the credit he deserves. In both WWE and WCW, he was handed ridiculous creative and somehow managed to make it work. I mean, maybe not that program where he feuded over the letter T. That was like Sesame Street. Either way, though, the man just understood that being an idiot could be a huge positive. You gotta commit. Early on during his WWE run, he found himself in the revamped version of the NWO when he realized he had a problem. He needed his own entrance music to get pumped up for his match, and not the New World Order theme. Apparently Shawn Michaels had to A-OK this, but Booker got so annoyed of waiting on HBK, he just went on this massive rant at Kevin Nash and X-Pac, when, yes, he just decided to sing Sexy Boys if his life depended on it. I think he was trying to make a point. He ended it by hitting Shawn's pose, and that was it for X-Pac. He thought this was so ridiculous he just lost it, which set Nash off too. He held his lips together, trying not to let it show. As WWE loves to have that lingering camera shot, however, before cutting to what's next, you got a very solid view of what was happening. The New World Order were gone. It was likely the best thing the WWE version of the group did. All the rest of it was a bit like Vince McMahon didn't really understand what they were meant to be. Or he just didn't care. I mean, go watch WrestleMania 31, talk about it later. Number 6, Booker is back. Anytime you mention Booker T and Batista, you are probably going to think of the very real-life fight they had backstage. Both dudes have talked about it since, and the important part is they're friends now. You can throw some fists and move on. It was 2005, however, and Big Dave was not happy he'd been moved to SmackDown. I think during his time on Raw, he'd been told this is the A show, so being shifted to the blue brand felt like an insult, at least to him. Booker heard about this, so took offense given he was a star on SmackDown. So during the advert shoot for SummerSlam 2006, these guys fought. What happened depends on whose take you want to listen to, but ultimately WWE felt like this would make for a good TV feud. Use that rage on screen. Of course, this was when we had King Booker, who was deliberately over the top, and his aim did seem to be to make his colleagues break whenever he could. You don't even have to do much work here, because just find any face-to-face where Booker screamed Booker into Batista's face. That lip was quivering instantly. I think that sums up why they navigated these waters well, though. Booker T knew you can't always take yourself seriously, whereas Dave eventually found that part of himself too. Often when a performer gets that right, they can just go and go and go. Both of these dudes have done that long after they hung up the boots. It is meant to be fun after all, and I know we say that a lot, but we oh so often forget. Number 5, Vince and Mick get Steve. In May 1998, the WWF was all Steve Austin. He had won the world title the month before, so it was time to double down on that. And I doubt Stone Cold was worried about his spot, but of course he wanted to prove his worth. Many a wrestler have been anointed and then fallen off. He did not want that. Most thought it was nuts that Dude Love was Steve's first opponent, but actually it was perfect. Austin was about to reshape the main event scene in his image, and that meant brawling. And do you know who was brilliant at that? Mick Foley. To try and make it fresh, Foley had debuted his Dude Love character and sided with McMahon, which was nice and simple. And after wrecking old friend Terry Funk, he was a proper heel too. Soon got inserted into the over-the-edge title headliner. Dude versus Steve, WWE Championship up for grabs. I suppose because the gimmick was ridiculous, Foley and McMahon decided to bait Austin because good grief. When announcing this match, they go off-piece dancing at the top of the entrance ramp as more and more women in tie-dye join in. As controversial as he is today, Vince is hilarious too. He is just so damn convinced he's finally figured out how to beat his nemesis Steve Austin. When the camera cuts to the rattlesnake though, he is another one who is holding on for dear life. He's doing everything in his power not to laugh, which is the last thing he wanted. He was trying to get across the fact he was the toughest SOB on the planet. Before the show goes off air, he just lets it go, however, because he couldn't hold it in anymore. And I tell you once again, it's great stuff. I mean, anyone who did see that likely liked Stone Cold more. It's that human interaction, man. It's one of the easiest ways to get over. Number 4, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes do some press. So it's another more recent one, and really it was the moment where many fans decided they did like Jey Uso. This really is great stuff. Amazingly, it happened post-Fastlane 2023 in the press conference where Jey and Cody Rhodes were celebrating being WWE Tag Team Champions. Good grief, today that feels like it happened in another lifetime. They had opened the pay-per-view and defeated the Judgment Day, so I presume had the rest of the show to enjoy their time. Or drink a lot of booze and who knows what else. It did mean they were super happy here, and they admitted to indulging in some libations. They then giggled through the whole thing like children. Cody even threw out some yeets which were part awkward but part hilarious, and Jey was just so over the top it essentially told people that sort of personality could become a world champion. Bingo. Rhodes at one point also asked his buddy, "Do you feel him, sir?" which is far funnier than you'd think, and it helped WWE, you know. It made it seem like the locker room was one big fun bust in a positive way. The sort of energy you want from wrestling. It also kind of felt like everybody was allowed to join in on this, so the feeling was mutual. This is still worth watching now, even if it is one of those dumb press conferences. Cody and Jey went out there and just stole the damn thing. Number 3, Jey laughs again. This one is actually quite weird because we don't really know what happened. It was the build to WrestleMania 38, and Brock Lesnar, as he is wont to do, was destroying vehicles to try and get to Roman Reigns. He hated that guy. Lesnar made sure to whoop the Tribal Chief's ass too, but in the background, the Usos for some reason were having the time of their life. Well, mostly Jey. Because that man was cracking up, and look, it's all on camera, this hasn't been edited, and to be honest, fans are a bit bored of another Brock Reigns feud, so this actually made the segment. It's as above. You started to realise there was more to one Jey Uso. Lesnar would soon rip the door off a vehicle as the bloodline ran away, but yeah, Jey was just over the moon. What a great time this was. Given that WWE had gone back to this well, the whole feud did need a little bit more levity. And wouldn't you know it, it came from Jey by accident. I do wonder if he got chewed out afterwards. I mean, it didn't fit the vibe at all, but in terms of me watching, I thought it ruled. Number 2, Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch break each other. The mixed match challenged was an unseen joy. It was made for Facebook, so it was nothing more than a money grab, but teaming a male wrestler up with a female wrestler and just letting them run riot was awesome. Remember that Oscar thumbs up meme? That's all from this nuts tournament. A forgotten duo was Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn, and honestly, thank goodness somebody did say they could just be their proper selves on TV. This was absolutely hilarious. It was 2018, and the story came from the fact that Becky was a good guy and Sami was a bad guy, and as they had just lost, they got into an argument. Should we blame the WWE Universe for what had happened? Well, they couldn't decide. The best part was it was the babyface that convinced the heel, because Lynch reminded Sami, "Oh my gosh, we had that birthday cake before we fought, and that likely had something to do with it." I mean, it was her birthday after all. From nowhere though, Zayn actually does agree when he goes in on the local bakery and says, "Isn't that typical of this stupid town?" Becky then loses it, literally looks at the floor laughing, This is one of the reasons she became a superstar. She is just the most lovable character. And she'll punch you in the face. Sami sees that as the green light too, so he pushes it even harder. And listen, this is only 2 minutes. Watch it. It will fill you with glee, and if you don't laugh along, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you may be dead inside. Number 1, UCEY. Well, you knew this would be in here. It's what took the bloodline and arguably breathed new life into the thing, and it's why Sami Zayn was in the group to begin with. Just go and have some fun. Everybody loses it here too, including Sam, but make sure to keep an eye on Roman as well. He doesn't totally break, but throws in some laughs, pretending that's part of his speech. And it all came off the back of Zayn telling the crew Jey is struggling at the moment because he hasn't been feeling very UCEY lately. It's so crazy because if this had been a one-off and nobody in the ring cracked up, we would have smiled and moved on. I mean, it's a cute line, but nothing more. Jey, however, is totally gone, and good grief. He has to cover his mouth, literally grab his face. Whatever he has to do to not laugh on camera, he tries, and he totally fails. The man got live on SmackDown. By the end, he is physically shaking, and that's when they're all just a mess. The whole segment goes off the rails, but it is perfect. Without this, it would have just been another whatever, but with this, well, you should probably watch it at least every single month. It's the absolute highlight of the year. It ties into all of the above, though. We have to let wrestlers show a more human side, and it's always going to click with the audience. Also makes us feel like we're part of a special club because we are nerds. This one really is all-time stuff. Know any of the times that wrestlers just broke on camera and it made you feel good in your tootsie toes? Make sure you leave us a comment below before you like the video, share the video, and subscribe. You can then click the video on the screen to get even more of these kind of videos in your life, but otherwise, my friends, I appreciate you coming down. I hope you have a terrific day, and I'll talk to you on the next one.